people, they will say that our feelings towards somebody is love, our attachment with somebody is love, our care for somebody is love, and which is very valid. This is the kind of love we all know. There is no wrong in it. But the love saints talk about is similar to this, but it's a little different thing altogether. And mind you, what I am sharing with you is part of my book, which is about to be released maybe next to next month. And there is a lot of research that I have put into it. Some 20 years of headbanging and brainstorming that I have, and internalization that I have done over it. So, friends, what is the opposite of love that we were told in our schools? Anybody?
What is the opposite of love?
What is the opposite of love? We all know.
Ankit Mishra is writing hate. Neha
So everybody is writing hate. Hate is the opposite of love.
Okay. So we were told that hate is opposite of love. Okay? But in spiritual context, hate is again an association, and it is a failed love. Okay? So let us see what saints see as opposite of love. And then we will go a little deeper and a little more scientific. Okay? So can somebody read for me the love side of it? I just want to make sure that you are engaged.
Okay, we can do that.
Or somebody from the participant.
Somebody from...
Anybody?
May I?
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Spirit,
Yeah.
power, truth, relaxation, health, trust, right being dominant, high self-esteem, reliable, joy, calm, generosity, altruism, non-violence.
Okay. Now, this is the opposite of love in spiritual context. The moment you are not in the love zone, you are actually in the fear zone. And fear zone has or plays like a root of the so-called I consciousness or the I-ness. It's a topic by itself, so we may handle it later. But right now you can understand that we operate from two modes. One is love mode, the second is fear mode. So can somebody help us with the fear characteristic, this mode characteristics?
Anybody can volunteer. Okay.
I would like to share.
Okay.
Please.
Fear, death, ego, force, falsehood, tension, disease, mistrust, left brain dominant, low self-esteem, unreliable, sadness, anxiety, sickness, selfishness, violence.
So now, can you see the difference, the clear-cut difference between the two modes? Friends, I don't know, like you must have got exposure of many more modalities, but every modality is a little unique and different. And I keep on giving this analogy of the difference between an allopath, a homeopath, and a Ayurveda practitioner. So all of them try to balance you by giving their tablets, giving their solutions or herbs or those sweet pills, soaked in those liquids. So apparently they look very different. They treat our bodies very, very differently. Like allopathy will not relate to that kapha, vata and pitta balance, which is the core of Ayurveda. But they see our body as that only, and they say that all the diseases are a result of the imbalance of any of these three. Okay? In the same manner, spiritual modalities also address the same problem, but little differently. I think we are on same page here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so friends, there is a belief from which Sufism operates, and that belief is that man in the evolutionary journey took a quantum leap, okay, an evolutionary leap you can call it, where man became different from many other creations in its characteristics. And that was to transcend their material self. Okay? So other creation, cat, dog, mouse, have senses. They also eat and sleep like us. They also try to figure out their resting places, their mates, and their offsprings. Very similar to us. The only thing different is that they cannot think about their own thinking. They cannot, so they don't have that you know capacity to see beyond their own sensual world. They may have some limited, memory of good and bad, and what to eat and what not to eat, what to fear and what to run away from. What is healthy and what is not so healthy for us. So those memories, such intuitive capacities are there, but not at the level we have as humans. So I keep on repeating this word. Man is, with his own evolutionary capacity, more psychology and less physiology. So our well-being is more psychology dependent than physiology dependent. So we may be well fed, but if you are not happy in the upper story, we may feel the world is a hell. Now, that is the cause of most of the stress, depression, and so many diseases that are psychosomatic in nature. So they start from thought process, and then they disturb your immune system, your hormonal system, and in turn your body and organs. We know thyroid, we know high blood sugar, we know many more diseases which have the root in psychological imbalances. So spirituality, whichever modality we follow, actually tries to address the psychological side of humans, and then try to balance their thought process, their conditionings, their eye consciousness, and give them a space from where they can live up to their full potential. Okay, let's move and focus on the love. This is Kabir, and he says, "Akat kahani prem ki, kuch kahi na jaye. Gunge keri sar kara, baithe hi muskaye." So can somebody read this translation for me? I just want to engage you.
Some participant. Anybody can volunteer.
Yeah, the inexpressible joy of love can never be put to words, just as a mood that tastes sugar can only smile to show his joy.
Okay, so friends, there was one of you who could not spell it, right? That is how love is, in whichever form you have experienced it. So now, if you see the love that you experienced, or the love saints talk about, are very, very similar, but little different. Let's see what goes on.
रांझा रांझा कर दी वे मैं आपे रांझा होई रांझा रांझा सद्दोनी मैनू हीर ना आपको कोई. Should I read the English translation also? Okay. Calling out for Ranjha for so long, I have myself become Ranjha. Calling me Ranjha now, don't call me Heer anymore.
So what is going on here? Is here the female becoming Ranjha, the male? What is happening here?
I think it's beyond male and female. It's about the
Yes.
feeling of love becoming one.
Yes, that's the right interpretation. But this story is about, it's a Sufi story written by somebody who shares my second name, Saint Waris of Punjab. I think maybe now that part of Punjab falls in Pakistan. So it's a Heer Ranjha story written by him. And you know, in all Sufi stories, you will find that the lover and beloved, they die in the end. You know? Why that happens? Because they want to leave you at that feeling, minus those two objects which were helping you visit that feeling within you. Okay? In most of the stories, you will find that either they, one of them disappear or something happens. Not many stories, Sufi stories, love stories, have happy ending, so to speak. And there's a purpose behind it.